People often ask me, what is elder law? Does that mean your attorney is old? And I say, no, that's not what that means at all. Elder law is the practice generally of estate planning, but with an eye towards seniors and things that seniors are likely to come across statistically as they get older. So things like dementia, stroke, Parkinson's. These are all things that some affect young people, but often and more statistically likely to happen as you get old. So from A to Z, I have created my documents and my practice to have a focus on getting older. And just because you aren't old doesn't mean you're not a good client. You're a great client. I love building with young families, with young children, and helping them protect. But I give everybody my elder law set of documents because I tell people we're all on the express train to Oldville, and the older you get, the further you define what old is. If you ask a 10-year-old what is old, they probably say like 20. Well, when you're 20, you realize you're really not old, and you keep kicking the can down the road. Many people create legal documents, they put them on the shelf and collect dust for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. By the time they need them, they are old, and they need language for older people that they simply don't have. So to give you an example, my durable power of attorney document that I give to all of my clients, young or old, rich, poor, it doesn't matter, is 32 to 35 pages in length. Compare that to a general estate planner that will give you a power of attorney document that's 5 to 12 pages in length. Well, what's the difference between a 5-page power of attorney and a 35-page power of attorney? They both say power of attorney on them. Why is one better than the other? Well, let me tell you, the document that I produce has asset protection and elder law language in there that at the time that we have to dust off that document and use it, you might be old even if you're not old today. And those documents contain the kitchen sink on language of anything that we might need to do as you get older, whether that's in-home care, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing. All of those levels of care have certain government benefits, whether through Medicaid or VA or even county benefits, that might assist in getting you care that you need at less than retail pricing. In order to take advantage of those government benefits, which often are means tested, you have to pass the test for income and assets. And while that may seem straightforward, for a lot of folks, maybe they make a few dollars too much in their Social Security and pension to qualify for benefits. Without the right language in your power of attorney document, you're out of luck. You simply don't get these benefits that someone else may get that makes the same amount every month as you, or maybe even more, but they had the right language in their documents that you don't have. And importantly to remember is that if you ever do lose capacity, and that might be through dementia over time, that could be in an instant with a stroke or a car accident with a brain injury. If you lose capacity to make your own decisions, you've also lost capacity to sign new legal documents that have better language than the ones that you originally had. So I take the Boy Scout approach on this, is always be prepared, in that why wouldn't we take the extra time to create a set of documents for everyone of all ages, of all socioeconomic backgrounds, because we don't know what we don't know. We don't know if we'll ever need the language, and if we do need the language, it's nice to know it's already there, and we don't wish we had done things differently. So elder law is that practice of thinking ahead. I tell people all the time, elder law starts at 40, and they laugh at me because they're usually older than 40. But 40 is a sweet spot. You're not a kid anymore, but you're also not too old and sometimes frail to build a really strong legal and financial plan to account for potential future costs of care. So in your 40s, you still have the option for really good long-term care insurance policies that you may not have when you're 70 or 80. So let's have the conversation early. Let's talk about options. The options are less expensive and more plentiful when you are younger than if you wait until your back is against the wall. I tell people all the time, you can't buy homeowners insurance on your house while your roof is on fire. Well, you can't get long-term care insurance or engage in certain strategies after you've already been diagnosed with dementia or some other ailment or disease that is likely to cause you to need a high level of care in the future. Insurance companies aren't stupid. They like to insure healthy people and not unhealthy people. So we want to at least be educated and start the planning process while we still have time on our side. With respect to the actual benefits that we work on for seniors, that is two. One, veterans benefits for veterans and widows of veterans. I work on a specialty benefit known as a non-service connected disability pension. Some people call it aid and attendance. It's not broadly talked about. Certainly if you go down to one of the VA hospitals or have a VA doctor and you're sitting in the waiting room, there's not going to be a big poster on the wall that says, hey, if you're a wartime veteran, there may be tax-free cash direct deposit just for you if you get old and sick. No one knows about it. And I speak on this topic sometimes 3 to 5 times a week. I speak to tens of thousands of individuals and families per year on this topic. Overwhelmingly, what I have learned is that 80% of veterans have never heard of this benefit. 90% of surviving spouses or widows of veterans have never heard of this benefit. So I love the opportunity to educate people on the fact that there may be tens of thousands of dollars a year of tax-free direct deposit money, just like your Social Security and pension, that go into your account every single month for the rest of your life that will help you pay for in-home care, assisted living, memory care, and sometimes skilled nursing. So for those folks that are not veterans or widows of veterans, we talk about Medicaid benefits. And people say, oh, well, there's this 5-year look-back period, and I don't think that we qualify for Medicaid because we have too much in assets or we make too much in income. I can tell you very honestly that Florida is the best state in the country if you happen to get old and sick and have more income or more assets than the Medicaid program allows you to have. And so because we have so many senior active voters in the state of Florida, our lobbies are extremely powerful in Tallahassee, and they do what lobbies do best. They go down and twist arms of our legislators and say, either you vote for this because it's good for our senior constituents, or good luck come next election, go find another job. And things get done here in Florida. So what does that mean for our seniors? Well, it means that I have the ability to shelter pretty much unlimited amounts of assets without having the 5-year plan to worry about and the 5-year look-back period. And so I have done cases for people that have $5,000 in assets. I've done cases for people that have $7.2 million in assets. And people do Google searches, and that can be helpful, but it can also be dangerous. And they say, well, but to get on Medicaid, I have to have only $2,000 of assets, and we have $5 million. Not a problem. If you're in a nursing home, within 30 days, I will shelter all $5 million, and I will have Medicaid turned on legally and legitimately, without the 5-year look-back period and without any pre-planning. Now, of course, pre-planning is always the best option. I wish everyone did it, but let's be honest, we're all procrastinators, and nobody wants to spend money until they have their back against the wall. So the good news is, in Florida, we can wait until your back's against the wall if you choose. I still think we should have a conversation about pre-planning. There's more options and they're more cost-effective than the crisis planning, but don't feel like you've waited too long. Don't feel like you've missed your opportunity, and don't feel like you're going to spend every penny that you've ever earned and saved in a nursing home before getting on Medicaid. I can protect that money for the rest of your life and ultimately give it down to your family, your beneficiaries, at the time of your passing. And many people say, well, that's not fair and that's not right, and you're circumventing the system. Well, folks, I'm a lawyer. My job is to be a hired gun and to zealously represent my families in a legal and legitimate way, but in a way that is best for them. And that is exactly what I do in this. And I sleep well at night knowing that I have sheltered over $700 million for families across the state of Florida that were able to preserve that money as a legacy for the future generations rather than spend it on the nursing home and go broke. So I rarely, if ever, meet someone who says, I have millions of dollars and I have a family that I love, but I'm in a nursing home now, so I want to give it to the nursing home and not to my family. Certainly, that's a wonderful moral compass to have, and I think many people should have that. The world would be a better place. But let's be honest, when it comes to you and your money and your family, most of the time you're going to want to leave it to your family than the nursing home. I allow that to happen, and I allow that to happen in a crisis, on the fly, and it's very effective. So I would encourage you to get educated early. Elder law starts at 40. Get educated early on the options. There may be a pre-planning option that's way more cost-effective than the crisis plan. But if the crisis arrives, we are here for you. We will protect you. We will protect your assets. We will protect your family. And we will get you the best care available in the same nursing home with the same food and the same care as the person paying $20,000 a month. You may be paying $2,000 a month. You get to choose which route you want to go. We're here to help you if you decide you'd rather pay $2,000 a month. Thank you.